CYFC for their 25th annual Foster Youth Awareness Walk on Saturday, May 17th at 8 a.m. at Susan Miller Dorsey High School, 3537 Farmdale Avenue in Los Angeles. This community-centered event brings together advocates, supporters, and youth to raise awareness and resources for foster care programs in the greater Los Angeles area. Please register at Eventbrite CYFC 25th Anniversary Walk. Congratulations to the Children, Youth, and Family Collaborative on their 25th annual Foster Youth Awareness Walk. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I used to think about immature things. You know, like, do you love me? Do you want me? Are you gonna call me like you said you would? Is this really your real phone number?
Some of y'all go get washed, some of y'all just go pop shit, some of y'all just go talk, but none of y'all ain't really got shit. Some of y'all just look lost. I get this type of feel you ain't accustomed to. I swear I'll be at peace if it weren't for you.
Yeah, yeah, only want your love if it's solid.
But if it f me, then f you, and that's the way I like it.
That's the way I like it.
And that's the way I like it.
Ain't cooking a smile for none of these.
That's the way I like it.
Wiping them down in front of me.
That's the way I like it. I'm 30 for 30, I'm 30 for 30, I'm 30 for 30, I'm 30 for 30.
Chat. Should they fold that no yoga mat?
Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. You've been locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And chat, can we get into some things? We are going to get into some things tonight on Jill Munroe's Entertainment News Update. First up, we are talking Snoop Dogg. He is responding back to the backlash he faced for DJing Trump's inauguration. And you know Andy is always on theme. So think about this song, the song we just played, 30 for 30 with SZA and Kendrick, when we talk about Snoop. I'm going to just put that out there. All right. We are also talking day 2 of the Diddy federal trial. Cassie was back on the stand. She came with the heat. She dropped names. And what is apparent from this portion of questioning from the prosecution is that this is where they are starting to build out the RICO portion of their charge. So we'll get into the details of that. And we are talking Halle Bailey. She is now in a court battle with DDG. It's heating up. Halle is requesting sole legal and physical custody of their son Halo, alleging violent behavior, emotional manipulation, and more. So we've got that full breakdown. Plus, it is Wednesday. And you know what that means? That means that we are all up in the business. Damon Haley, entrepreneur, strategist, business owner, Glow and Flow Beauty, Inglewood, and Hawthorne. And Slay Hair, 3 Ys, y'all, is in the building. And we're going to get into some things. Jordan with NBC. We're also going to talk about the rebranding of one of the streamers. So we'll get into those details. But before we do that, you know, I got to sprinkle you with a couple of conversation starters that have been going up and down your timeline today. First up, right? Listen, we are always excited when a show that we love gets an afterlife. So Forever just dropped last Thursday, May 8th on Netflix. We know that it is a reimagined version of the Judy Blume classic Forever, and Mara Brock Akil, girlfriends, being Mary Jane, love is, you know, all of the things that we hold our heart dear. One of my personal favorites, The Game. She is the showrunner and creator of this series. Well, just a week in, 1 week, y'all, it has been announced that season 2 of the show is coming. It has been renewed. So we will see, you know, more beautiful Black family love, more of this South LA, and what it looks like to be, you know, young love, Black love in 2018 Los Angeles, minus the trauma tropes that we have become accustomed to when we are talking about young teens in LA. So those are some of the things that I really, really and truly appreciate about this series forever. So, as always, let me know if you have checked it out, because it's a good one. And I feel like it's sweet. Don't be sensitive about some of the things, right? So anyway, there's more. Megan Thee Stallion has finally addressed those rumors that she got kicked out of the Met Gala behind some food incident and that she has not been invited back. Megan said, y'all just be believing anything. I think Megan feels targeted. We know. We are going to get into something related to Megan Thee Stallion later in the show if we have time, because Tory Lanez lawyers, he just got stabbed the other day while in custody. His lawyers have come out with some bombshell allegations that come from a bodyguard that was working for Cassie, Megan's ex-best friend, the woman that was involved in the incident that spiraled into this shooting of Megan that Tory is now incarcerated for. And the bodyguard is alleging that Cassie admitted in a conversation to her husband on a couple of occasions that she is the one that actually fired the gun. He goes on to break down the alleged details of what has happened or what happened. So we'll, if there's time, get into more about that and get your thoughts behind that. But for now, when we come forward, get ready to get all up in the business. Get ready to get into Snoop and so much more. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA.
We love you.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back?
back. If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PUSH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PUSH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PUSH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And as mentioned, I am not alone tonight. Well, before I get into that, let me stop myself and slow down. You know you want to get in on this conversation. 800-920-1580. Socials. KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill. DH is in the building. He's at Damon Haley. You know that the YouTube chat is always bustling over. Shout out to the chat. Chat. We might need to make that a little sample, Andy. We might need to, shout that out. Okay. So, excuse me. Hit up YouTube and of course, we have an app. Download the app and take your KBLA with you on the go. Why not, right? So, DH Baby is in the building with me. Ah, okay. You got theme music. Look at that. What? Okay. Throw the doves up real quick. Welcome in, Damon Haley. We're going to get all up in the business, but maybe DH wants to weigh in on these other topics too. So first up, I mentioned Snoop Dogg, right? Snoop's not backing down. He's defending his choice to DJ during Trump's inauguration weekend. Reminder, it was not an inauguration sanctioned event. It was outside of it, a crypto ball thing, just setting it up for the clip we're going to hear. And he received massive backlash from fans and even some peers, right? For Snoop, he said it's 30 minutes versus 30 years of community service. Hint, 30 for 30. So is this a stain on his legacy or just business as usual? We're going to check out what Snoop had to say and then we'll talk about it.
You hear people's opinions on when you did the crypto ball. Mm-hmm. Does that bother you?
No, I call it 30 for 30. Let me explain that to you. Mm-hmm. I DJ'd at the crypto ball for 30 minutes. Made a whole bunch of money, made a lot of relationships to help out the inner city and the community and teach financial literacy and crypto in a space that it don't exist. That's 30 minutes. 30 years, Snoop Dogg been doing great things for the community, building, showing up, standing up for the people, making it happen, being all I can be. So which one is it? 30 for 30. 30 minutes or 30 years? Mm-hmm. Oh, is it a crime?
Nope.
I hated that, man. I ain't gonna lie. I hated how they came at you.
And I love how my people defended me, but I didn't give y'all no ammunition. Meaning that I never said nothing. So it was kind of becoming like, damn, man, y'all keep riding on Dog and I ain't finna have that. Y'all can't. But damn, he ain't said nothing. So it's like, I can't fight for another man that ain't gonna fight for itself. Mm-hmm. So
and then they kept taking the video saying, well, he said this about Trump back then, but then he's DJ. But it's not, you didn't endorse nobody, you just you DJ'd a party.
But those are bots. And then it's entertainers who was getting behind it and trying to make something out of it, which to me is like, most of those guys, they live off of the internet and live off of that energy. Mm-hmm. The things that I do, even if I would have done it for him and hung out with him and took a picture with him, can't none of you tell me what I can and can't do. But I'm not a politician. I don't represent the Republican Party. I don't represent the Democratic Party. I represent the gangster party. Period, point blank. And we don't explain. So that's why I didn't explain. That's why I didn't go into detail when my was trying to counsel me and say he a sellout. Mm-hmm. Even on my Instagram page, like after that, I would post and I see like, oh, he a sellout. You know what I would do? Jump right in their DM with a video. You said him.
Shut your
Snoop Dogg. What you want to do? Guess what they would do? Oh man, I'm just a fan, man. I didn't really. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, man. Snoop, you got me f***ed up. I jump all off in your talk to you face to face. Don't hit me on no here sell out on Instagram or this and that, because I'm really engaging like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And my work should speak for me. Like, don't take my personal or my business and try to involve it in my life on who I am as a person. The things that I do in real life should matter to you more. You understand what I'm saying? Not what I do when I'm DJing or making music or doing this and that. What is he like as a real person? When you walk up on Snoop Dogg, what is his energy? What is his aura? What is that you get from me?
So Snoop said a lot there, and a lot of it is true. But I guess the question that some people have is, in these current times when our rights and liberties are, we're in a recession, maybe we aren't, maybe we are, tariffs, things are happening that are very much in direct reaction to this particular individual. Is this the time to take that stance? I guess that is what the question is, because, 10, 15 years ago, this wouldn't have been a conversation necessarily. Before Trump came in office, how many times did artists go and perform at the inauguration with Bush, or, go to some Republican type events? And there wasn't this type of outcry, but it wasn't this type of environment either socially. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I understand where Snoop is coming from, but I think that is the position of a lot of people. Damon?
Yeah.
oh, too much?
No, I don't. One, I think he said it. He can do whatever he wants to do.
Absolutely.
For one thing. Two is, I like the 30 for 30, analogy that he DJ'd, and it wasn't an official event. So a lot of people were uneducated about really what it was. So he caught some stray bullets when he didn't have to be honest. And for him to be silent, he kind of hurt himself. And I'll share, because he could have easily clarified and helped people understand the gamesmanship of political parties and how this party is moving and affiliating and all that kind of stuff. But I was cool with it. I think that I see Snoop doing some things in the community that are great. He's a leader to many, but I do question, like, okay, he said he got paid and he got relationships. That's what came out of his mouth. Mm-hmm. Okay, how is he parlaying that for the community?
I guess he feels like he already does that. So if it's not directly related to this particular one, he's already set the seeds and the foundation to sow into the community, and he continues to do so, whether it is directly linked to this or just overall. I think that was his point. He's been that person.
And that's a good point. But also, why was he invited? Why did he get the invitation?
Because he's cool.
And
so, they like cool,
right? So who's getting? Is it an equal balance? Is an exchange of value? So I don't know how he got paid and he got relationships, and I don't know how that's going to be parlayed to something bigger. But whoever invited him in that room, they're parlaying him to something far greater than the money he received.
So, listen, there's a lot of opinions about this already getting it in the YouTube chat. So let me start. Royal Jenkins said, Snoop, two of America's most wanted gangsta party song with Tupac, 1996, laughing face. Fahima says, you were so right. She's responding to Royal Jenkins, who said, a lot of stuff happened. Almost forgot about Snoop at the White House with Trump. Fahima says, this administration has done so much damage that Snoop DJing is a moot point. It was about Harry O and that pardon. Rob Tyler, who has a lot of angry, he's passionate. Shout out to you, Rob Tyler, in the chat. He said, what the heck are these some people doing? Show up, some people. Snoop does not owe some people anything. Snoop did not hurt himself at all. His name is still on your lips. And Snoop does not have to report to you or anyone on how he's parlaying his money. I'm not sure what that is, but he earned it, basically. So, Andy?
I feel like Ice Cube kind of had this same situation when he came, I guess, with like some sort of business plan.
His platinum plan.
His platinum plan. And, come to find out, he reached out to the left first, right? But I guess, they denied it or whatever. But, once he, hollered at Trump, it became a big thing. But I'm okay with Snoop Dogg's stance because, look, I understand that, we have issues with Trump, a lot of the rhetoric that he has to say. But we have to live. We have to live in this country for the next 4 years or whatnot. And if there's a way that we can build a relationship to conduct business, and I understand how it looks like from their end, from the white lens or whatnot, right? They're probably capitalizing off of our value, right? But I mean, in the sense, sometimes we need allyship. We need support in certain ways. That's going to help benefit our community.
In order to enact change, we got to be in the room.
We got to be in the room. Yeah, you said it. And I'm not mad at Snoop for, making those moves.
So Forrest Harrison says, number 47 pardoned Snoop's homeboy, Harry O. I think he had to do it. DJ Black 909 says, I could respect this, but Snoop has a history of just taking the bag no matter what. To each his own, but I understand some that feel that way. Metaverse Monty says, the more money Snoop gets, it seems, the more he will do for money. It's time to draw the line. So there's a lot there. A lot of opinions, like I said.
But also, I agree with the whole 30 years that he put in, because, I mean, he has a lot of youth that's playing professional ball right now.
Facts.
We cannot take that away from him at all whatsoever. And that's something that he's been doing.
And I watched the series that they had. I believe it was on Netflix about a lot of those kids, and even the ones that didn't make it. Let's take professional out of it. He saved some of those kids' lives. He made an impact. Some of those kids got to go to college. They had someone in their lives, father figures, authority figures, helping guide them from right and wrong, and were there for them and made an impact to a lot of those kids as men. So again, shout out to that. But we're in different times, so people are going to feel how they feel, and things that used to be varying shades of gray are now very much black and white for some.
So if you're black, just don't talk to Trump, or else you're going to get backlash.
Oh, that's facts.
Period.
I mean, we've seen that. We knew that. There it is there. So we'll put a pin in that, and, excuse me, we're going to get into day 2 of Cassie on the stand and give you some of those updates. We do not have time. Thank you for the Law and Order sound effect, because we've been hitting it hard. We're not going to get into every point because that would be an entire show in and of itself. But we are going to hit some of the high notes. So Cassie took the stand today. She detailed mouth sores that she got from the freak-offs. She said it was from friction. She said that she dealt with several UTIs. She also named names of people that witnessed the attack. And she confirmed something that I said all along. Don't have me go pull the YouTube video. That settlement that Cassie received, people were like, she got 100 million. She got 50 million. A settlement by itself denotes that it is something below the figure that was being asked for initially. So Cassie was awarded $20 million from Sean and his teams, right? That's where she said the money came from. Again, all of this lending in, which is why I detailed at the beginning that they are trying to set the stage for these RICO charges that he is facing. So again, remember, Cassie is signed to Bad Boy. He is paying her with money. She is saying basically that her employeeship went from record deal to freak-offs, that was her job and her role. She detailed several times that she was beat up. They showed the unedited version of the video from the hotel. It was 15 minutes long. Showed her getting on the phone, making the phone call. She says, this is where the kidnapping charge comes in, that she was trying to leave. She was tired. She had to go prepare for her premiere that was coming up. And we see that he wouldn't let her leave. He took her keys, he took her wallet so that she could not leave the building. After, that happened and we talked about her getting out, getting away, he texted her phone, she said, and he told her he was surrounded by police. Now, he wasn't arrested. The police never came. So, he said, I'm surrounded. He didn't say by police. These were text messages shown. Also, the jury also saw some of the footage from the freak-offs. The public that was in the room did not see it. Only the jury was allowed to see it. Cassie's husband was in the courtroom from part of this situation. He was said to be glaring at Diddy during some moments of this. Cassie alleged that Diddy in 2018 broke into her. They had met in Malibu and had a dinner when he was trying to win her back. She said that she was basically saying goodbye. At the time, she was dating her now husband, Alex Fine. She said that Diddy broke into her apartment and assaulted her the grape way. And from there, she did admit that after that, she did go back and spend time with him and have a sexual relationship with him again after that incident happened where she is saying that he raped her because she loved him. She also said that there were times when she physically attacked him first. Remember, she mentioned yesterday that she was very, very jealous. Let's see. I'm trying to run down these things really quickly. She said that one of their final interactions included Diddy demanding a refund after paying her now husband for personal training sessions, and because he was Diddy's trainer, and that's how they met. She said that she was traumatized and overwhelmed from everything to the point of near a suicide attempt. She was addicted to opiates because Diddy had introduced her to them. She said that she received the $20 million within 24 hours of her 2023 lawsuit. She admits that she was writing a book and she sent chapters to Diddy's lawyer. And that's, kind of how this whole thing started when she started realizing everything that had happened and everything that she went through. She talked about what happened with Diddy when he found out about her relationship with Kid Cudi. She said he went through her phone during a freak-off, found an email between her and Kid Cudi where Cassie was discussing taking some of her belongings to his house. Cassie said Diddy was so upset, he threatened her with a wine opener and kicked her out. So she went to Kid Cudi's house. Then the next day, she went to Diddy's house where he threatened to release a freak-off video if her relationship with him continued. I'll get into more details from day 2 of Cassie's testimony. Plus, we're going to get all up in the business and more on the other side. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
That's me. Shit, might give me. All I want to love is silence.
Some of y'all go get a wash. Some of y'all just go pop shit. Some of y'all just go talk. But none of y'all ain't really got shit. Some of y'all just look lost. I get this type of feel you ain't accustomed to. I swear I'd be at peace if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, only want you love if it's silent.
But if it's for me, then for you. And that's the way I.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now.
Kick a little something for the G's and make
Rapper Snoop Dogg is addressing the backlash over his performance at President Trump's crypto ball, saying his new album will speak for itself. In a recent interview, he explained the event was a smart financial move and helped him connect with people who can bring tech resources to underserved communities. Memphis, Tennessee is asking a judge to sanction Tyree Nichols' family attorneys, claiming they misled the public about who would pay the $550 million lawsuit. The city says Ben Crump's firm wrongly suggested taxpayers would not be impacted. Nichols' team later clarified their statement. And Black Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown is suing the Trump administration over immigration conditions tied to federal funding. He says the feds are overstepping by forcing states to act against their own laws, especially in transportation and emergency services. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Roland Heights, a crash on the 60 eastbound at Nogales, blocking the carpool lane. Delays away from Fullerton Road, Stallin Diamond Bar. East 60 coming up on the 57, right lane's blocked out into that slow drive. West LA, a crash out of lanes, North 405 before Wilshire. Delays still out of Culver City from just about the 90. And into Anaheim with a problem on the 91 westbound before the 55. It's a crash in the left lane. You're on the brakes away from Imperial Highway.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
Is this the title? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers pitching staff needs to regroup. 5 pitchers gave up a combined 18 hits Tuesday night in the Dodgers' 11-1 loss at home to the Oakland A's. The Dodgers pitching staff will try to be a lot better tonight. First pitch at 7 o'clock. Golden State Warriors star Steph Curry, sidelined with a hamstring injury for more than a week, was cleared Wednesday morning to do shooting drills and light on-court workouts. He will not play in Game 5 tonight at Minnesota. The Warriors need to win to avoid elimination. If the Warriors win, there's a chance Curry will be available for Game 6 on Sunday in San Francisco. Morgan Price, a highly decorated gymnast at HBCU Fisk University, is transferring to Arkansas. Price was a 6-time national champion at Fisk. Price is the first HBCU gymnast to earn a perfect 10 in NCAA competition. She scored a 10 on the uneven bars in a meet in February. Price will have 1 year of eligibility at Arkansas. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join the Children, Youth, and Family Collaborative, CYFC, for their 25th annual Foster Youth Awareness Walk on Saturday, May 17th at 8 a.m. at Susan Miller Dorsey High School, 3537 Farmdale Avenue in Los Angeles. This community-centered event brings together advocates, supporters, and youth to raise awareness and resources for foster care programs in the greater Los Angeles area. Please register at Eventbrite CYFC 25th Anniversary Walk. Congratulations to the Children, Youth, and Family Collaborative on their 25th Annual Foster Youth Awareness Walk. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
At Providence, health equity is the foundation of our community health initiatives, ensuring care reaches those who need it most. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in America. African Americans face a higher risk of life-threatening issues like hypertension, the number 1 cause of stroke. 55% of Black adults have high blood pressure. The good news is 80% of heart disease is preventable with healthy lifestyle changes and patient-centered care provided by the Providence Heart and Vascular Institute. From routine screenings to advanced procedures, Providence provides comprehensive care for the heart conditions that overly impact our community by ensuring patients receive treatments tailored to their needs. Let's stop the trend of being 30% more likely to die from heart-related problems. Take charge of your heart health with world-class cardiologists who deliver the compassionate care you deserve. Visit providence.org/SoCalHeart. That's providence.org/SoCalHeart to request an appointment.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Full force.
Can you read or is your brain like wood? Do you have sex or do you make love? How do you live? Do you give it? Do you take love? Girl, you're so fine. Could you be mine or do I slack in the back?
Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Hey, you know this is from House Party, right? The dance battle scene. The next time you guys are watching House Party, see if you can spot your favorite entertainment journalist. All right. Now, let's get back into these headlines and trending topics. So, a little bit more on Cassie, and then we'll move along. Because, like I said, we would be here all day, all night. So, Cassie said that when Kid Cudi, found out that, well, not when he found out. Basically, I told you Diddy found out about the relationship with Kid Cudi after going through Cassie's phone. So, and he threatened Cassie with a wine opener and kicked her out the house. So she went to Kid Cudi's house. And the next day, she went back to Diddy's house where he threatened to release a freak-off video. After that, Cassie says he kicked her in her back, bruising her, kicked her out again. And she then went back to a hotel room. And she said the hotel room was trashed. Someone tore it up. It was just before Christmas. Peed all over the floor, pooped in the toilet, didn't flush it. She said that she knows it was him. A few weeks later, she said she broke things off with Cudi because it had gotten too dangerous. And Diddy allegedly threatened to hurt them both. So she also claims Diddy allegedly admitted to blowing up Kid Cudi's car. Kid Cudi spoke out about this when all of these things first came out and said, yep, it's true. So, we'll see what happens. She did name names, D-Rock being one of Diddy's bodyguards, longtime bodyguards, been around since the Take That era. And, early Diddy. And so she said that he would often go pick her up. She would not be allowed to leave, or, he would take her to the doctor when things happen. We heard about these items in the lawsuit, that he would have her put on more makeup. He didn't want her children to see, put her up in the London hotel, etc., etc. There's a lot more that went on, but we'll get into it in another time because, it's Wednesday. And we're going to get, I don't think that you guys do, but do you have anything that you want to comment on Cassie, day 2? Andy? Damon? No?
I'm
All
good.
right.
I'm good.
All right, yeah. Just a lot happening. We'll see. Like I said, looks like, again, this is still the prosecution. So she hasn't been cross-examined yet. There was debate as to what evidence would be admitted into court. Prosecution accused the defense of slow-walking some of their evidence. They wanted to spring it on the witnesses in court, not just Cassie, also a woman named Mia, who will be testifying, and Jane Doe number 3 if she shows up. They did not want them to be able to confirm with their lawyers on these things, and prosecution felt it unfair. They wanted to see it first. So there's a lot happening there. Lot. Andy?
It was brought up during Dr. Nee's show, and I'm curious to ask you guys, considering, Diddy and what he represents, what he means to hip-hop, do you feel that this case is kind of like hip-hop on trial?
No. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Diddy and hip-hop, in the way that we currently think about it in 2025, are not married to each other. Not for the youth and not for us. Diddy is a symbol of certain things and certain aspects of the culture, but I don't think Diddy represents hip-hop and hasn't in quite a long time, if we're being honest. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I don't think it's hip hop on trial. I think that Diddy was in a white hot space at one point in time. He was driving the music, how we dressed. He had his own line, liquor, clubs, the videos. He created that lifestyle, but that he's a shell of the person now of who he is. He's an old dude right now that, like I say, he symbolizes something, but not hip hop.
So, and that's it on that. All right, so couple of things. Jordan is coming to the NBA on NBC. We know Jordan and NBC are synonymous with 90s basketball. Damon, you have worked with MJ you did work, I should say. Could circle back again. We never know what you're up to. You always got something in the pocket.
Never know.
But you spent quite a bit of time with him in various areas. So why do you think he has made the decision? I know it's a special contribution, but why do you think he made this decision after being such a recluse in some ways for so long and not really having much to say?
Well, I'll tell you, two of the fiercest competitors that I know that have ever played basketball became nicer men when they stopped playing. Jordan was one and Kobe was the other. They both became very, very nice because the pressure is just off. So you take MJ now, he's probably mid-60s or something like that. He doesn't own the team anymore. He didn't grow up in social media. He created that sideline reporter thing with Ahmad Rashad, just to get more access. He created primetime basketball. So he's done so much, not to mention the shoes, right? And all of that.
It's gotta be the shoes, money.
I just think that he gets the opportunity to talk and to be known and to tell his story. And we don't even know him, to be honest.
Facts.
A lot of people really don't know the man. And so I think that it's a payback to NBC, who he acknowledges elevates him. He's still, a living legend, an icon. And I think he just wants to share, to be honest. If the last time that I was in his presence, he was talking about giving, he was talking about sharing, he was talking about making a mark outside of the scoring and the rings and all that, because I don't think he cares about that. Honestly,
anymore.
He don't care about it anymore. It's something that he did, and now he's looking to do something else.
Do you think that he's sitting back watching all these player media situations thrive, and it's getting his competitive juices burning in a way, because they're telling old war stories as well, and talking about their perspectives on the game and shaping it? And I'm sure you hear from former players, one thing all the time is that one of the things they miss the most are the plane rides, the locker room, the bus rides, that camaraderie. Jordan hasn't had that in that manner. I don't know if it mattered to him. It may have some, but do you think that is partially fueling it to this player media outbreak?
I do. I think that I loved being around MJ, because he was a big brother type. He loved the locker room. He went to college, he loved hanging out, and nobody on the court talks stuff, but they respect him because he was a guy's guy. He was a throwback in that way. He wasn't recluse back then. He'd gamble with you. He'd talk crap to you, all that kind of, his mama would cook for you, in the early years, all that kind of stuff. So I think it is his way to kind of give back to a game that has given so much to him. So I think that has a lot to do with it. He'll have a voice now. This is what I think, because a lot of people want to put words in his mouth. I mean, I was around when people were trying to put words in his mouth, and I was like, MJ wouldn't say that. MJ don't think like that. Same with Kobe and LeBron too. They don't think about stuff like that.
Andy?
Do we want hot takes from him, or do we want analysis, X's and O's?
I want hot takes. I want color commentary. I want Charles Barkley, but Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I would almost. He's not gonna heavily indulge like Kenny, Shaq, and Barkley, but the hot takes every now and then, like a Saturday thing, like what Peyton Manning and his brother does for Monday Night Football, something like that, a simulcast with his own opinion. I think he'll do it. And let's not forget, he still sells shoes.
Absolutely.
And he's still in charge. He's still with Formula One. And I don't know if it's public or not, but he's doing a golf line.
Boom, boom, bam.
So he's got to be in the mix.
All right. When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. You get all up in the business and all the things here on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You were locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So listen, do you have Max? That's one of the streamers. So HBO Max, when it was just starting to get cracking, was one of my favorites. And then, HBO was purchased by Warner Discovery in the past few years. The head of them wanted to center Discovery. He wanted to change all of the apps and the things to kind of focus on, My 700-Pound Life and, those type of shows. And they thought that it would drive the streamer. These are my opinions. These are my opinions right now. But it probably didn't. And things are getting dark. Like HBO Max, the streamer, is now starting to crack down like Netflix did on the password sharing and things of that nature. So they're tightening things up. And they're bringing back the HBO Max moniker. Why? Because HBO is marketing. HBO stands for quality. They are saying that it is not about the quantity available on their service. They're going, I guess, the Apple approach. It is about the quality. And when you think about HBO really set the standard for cable shows. You think about The Sopranos, Entourage, I could go on and on.
Sex in the City.
What's the one that I've never watched that you guys, House of Game of Thrones. Yeah. And now House of Dragon. I've never seen either of those. Anyway, and not because I don't like Fantasy Fair. I just didn't do it. But they are hoping that this will entice you back or bring you on board and make their streaming service stand out in what is a crowded market. DH, what do you think about the changes that they're making, sort of the back and forth?
I when I was at UMCA, had agency, HBO was one of our best clients, and we worked on activating and igniting Sopranos, Sex in the City, Def Comedy Jam, Def Poetry. There was some ingenious people that were there at HBO at the time and added great flavor, and made, it's not TV, it's HBO. It's always been positioned as something, like you say, quality, insightful, inclusive, all of that. And I think that they chased this whole streaming thing and they went down a bad street. It's like just going down a bad street with no lights. It's a ghetto, and it's not favorable. And so now they're doing everything to get off that street. And I think it's going to be a tough time to do it, because a lot of us forget what HBO used to be. I mean, you think of Def Comedy Jam. Shout out to Olivia Smasham, Maria Weaver, who's head of Warner Music now, and Steve Panman, who was there, who's head of CEO of Versus. You had some very, very dynamic people. And I don't know if the people in place now have that kind of flavor, have that kind of dynamic to put their careers on the line and their credibility on the line to get that consumer, that viewership now. They just failed at it.
Are they even in the building? Because remember, when this merger happened, a lot of duplicate, as happens with most mergers, duplicate positions were eliminated. A lot of the development, specifically for the streamer, including shows that were produced by Issa Rae, like Sweet Life, which was a docu-series, and Rap-ish, which was, loosely based on the City Girls and their rise, were canceled behind that, and some other favorites from fans.
Yeah, when you think about networks, right, just in general, like how Fox did it, HBO, like I said, HBO,
CW, UPN, and if you guys aren't paying attention,
Tubi, yeah, owned by Fox. Owned by Fox News, right? All them people, Rupert Murdoch. It's a certain formula. It's a certain edge you have to have. And I actually remember doing work with Cinemax too, because Cinemax used to be the after 9 stuff, the soft adult films and stuff like that. So it's a formula that you need to have to capture audiences. And I just don't know, because I'm off of HBO now. I'm off of HBO Max. I'm just off of it because it's just not interesting anymore. We used to like miniseries. That's not it anymore. They just don't have that kind of formula. I used to look for a couple original programs. Had a great weekend with Terrence Howard on an original program through HBO back in the day. But yeah, I mean, I just think that it's void of that, and it's other entities that have it.
So that's a wrap on that. We got all up in the business. Now we got one more topic for the night before we get up out of here. I mentioned the court battle between Halle Bailey and DDG, and it's escalated to a new level, according to court documents that were obtained by In Touch. Halle has officially filed a motion requesting sole legal and physical custody of their son, Halo Saint, from her ex-boyfriend, DDG. In her filing, she's alleging that the YouTuber was violent in front of their child, and she asked the court to deny him unsupervised visitation, requesting that any visits be professionally supervised, limited to once a week for no more than 6 hours, only when both she and Halo are in the area. He should not be allowed to showcase him on his streaming channel anymore, etc., etc. So we can get into more details later, but I think that this is incredibly sad that they are going through this. DDG's brother got online and was in tears for his brother, saying that, his brother really cares about his son. He has been dealing with, from his version of events, Halle blocking him from seeing his son and preventing it. DDG is only 27. Halle is 25. They are adults, yes, but they are young adults. We got to give them grace because, as mentioned, many people were, and when I say give them grace, I'm talking about Halle, because a lot of people are wound up and ready to say, "We told you so, girl." And we did. But, the beauty in youth, right, is your naivete, because it allows you to take risks and opportunities and step out. And that same beauty is also at times what can do you in. So, sending them lots of loving shout out to that, that they resolve this quietly, quickly, safely, and, everybody.
And I like to say, I hope they're getting help.
Yeah.
Parents, uncles, aunties, grown folks, professional advice if they need to, but at a minimum, grown folks in their life. I hope they're helping them get through this.
It should be noted that for the past couple of years, fans have been observing that both Chloe and Halle have seemed to be distant from their parents who were so heavily involved in their early career and managing them and so forth. So, but Beyonce is a mentor. So, maybe she and Jay will step in. We know that they did for Rihanna many, 16 years ago now. So, different type of situation, but similar outcome in some aspects. So, we're sending loving, healing, energy, and all of that to them. So, since we have a little bit more time, I'll give you one additional detail that I did not cover from the Cassie and Diddy trial. She detailed several beatings, and she got specifically into one that I mentioned last year, actually, was talked about on the website Lipstick Alley back in 2011, 2012, almost verbatim to what Cassie included in her initial civil filing back in December of 2023. And she went into the details of this incident today on the stand. As mentioned, she detailed several individuals that were kind of out in the industry. James Cruz, he's a popular manager that's been around. She said that he was one time there when she was being physically assaulted. She talked about the other people that worked for Diddy. I think James even managed Diddy or was somehow involved in that universe or something at one point in time. So, as mentioned, the defense hasn't gotten to cross yet, so we still have that coming, plus more witnesses. So we'll be right here for you with the details on that. Listen, thank you for locking in. I appreciate it. We covered it all tonight. We got into everything from Snoop's controversy, Diddy and the trial, Halle Bailey. We got up in business regarding Jordan and HBO Max. So make sure you're here each and every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. for your entertainment news update. It's all culture, commentary, and context. I probably said that wrong, but you know what I mean. Your front row seat to the culture. Shout out to Stiletto Jill. That's me. Hit me up on social media. Up next is the voice of reason, Zoe Williams. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
You're not into it.
I'm not into it. I already know the game and I've been through it. See, I buy my own bags, my boots, my jeans. Will I rock with my rebel yell underneath? You wanna step to me? Since you got a long way to go. Rock with me now. You claim that you're so hot, and you say you got skills in the bedroom. You try to front when you're so not. Had a chance, you still never come through. You say you wanna come see me, cause you know your girlfriend wanna be me. I'ma tell you why you can't.